Hey guys, Jeff here. Today I kind of wanted to go over a little bit about my setup, my process, and how I make my music as a college student living in a dorm room with roommates. Yeah, so the deal is I, as a college student, don't really have the biggest amount of space available to me in my dorm room. I have everything set up on my dorm desk and on my dorm dresser that just came with my room. So all of my gear is kind of packed in one little area. It's not the best or most ideal situation, but at the same time, I can't really complain because I'm able to still create and still process my ideas and have fun playing guitar. So first things first, as a guitar player, I don't own any amps. I don't own any pedals. I'm running strictly on Neural DSP plugins. Primarily, Archetype Nolly X is probably my most used at this time of recording this video. But that means that I just go straight into my interface, my audio interface, which is an Audient Evo 4. I've been using this thing since, probably been little over 2 years is when I got it, and I started using Neural plugins. I mean, this thing has been on stage with me. It's been thrown around, dropped. It's plastic and it handles it just fine. So I see no reason to kind of upgrade my interface to something bigger. I have it sitting on top of my PC right now because that's kind of the only place I could fit it. That made it look okay, even though there's a mess of wires right above it. However, the interface itself goes straight into my M Audio 3-inch speakers. Nothing special. They're pretty cheap. I got them just at Guitar Center because I needed some studio monitors to listen to stuff on. And if you notice, they're actually sitting on a pair of jack stands, like for a car. So that is what I'm working with currently for my speaker setup. But when I need to listen to something with headphones, I have a pair of Sennheiser HD600s that I absolutely adore. When it comes to mixing and just kind of listening to stuff in general, I think the HD series from Sennheiser is an awesome pick. I got these used off of Facebook Marketplace, and yeah. So when it comes to drums and bass, a lot of my friends, especially who aren't in the music space, they ask me, who's playing drums? Are you playing drums? No. Well, kind of. So I use this little Akai MPK Mini for my drum and bass programming on MIDI tracks. I use the P5 kit from GGD, and I also use the Nolly bass plugin. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it's Nolly's bass plugin. And so I'm basically trying to rip off Periphery, even with my bass and drums. It's been fantastic having access to those libraries of just sound and being able to use those really high quality samples to put into my music and elevate what I'm writing on guitar as well. When it comes to guitars themselves, I have 4. 3 of them are electric and one is acoustic at this time of recording. In the background, if you can see here, I have a PRS Mark Holcomb Signature 7-string. Thing is my baby. I love it so much. I think I have it in drop F sharp right now, if I remember correctly. And then on the ground, on this floor stand here, I have a Kiesel Osiris. So this is an OG Osiris, not one of the newer models that they released. This is also a 7-string, 25.5-inch scale length, and lithium pickups in it. It's a great guitar. I keep it in drop A flat, and it's just, I've been recording a lot with it lately because it's such a beast. Super comfortable, super light. One thing that was really, a main selling point for me was the fretwork. It's just awesome on this guitar. I've never owned a guitar made in the USA until I got that Kiesel. I've only owned guitars made in China or Indonesia or Mexico, but this guitar is something special, so I'm going to be holding on to that one for a long time. Right next to me, it's kind of cut out of frame, is a very new pickup for me. I bought this probably 3 days ago. I saw it on the wall, and I had heard that Ibanez had released the AZ standard line. And my background came from Polyphia music. When I first started playing guitar, I was playing Polyphia riffs off of The Most Hated and New Levels, New Devils. So for me, seeing Tim and Scott playing the AZ series, I wanted one when I was first starting out. And over the years of me playing, I've gradually realized that style of guitar is not something that I want to be using as my main guitar. I found more like the Holcomb Signature 6-string that I used to have is a fantastic example of something that I want to be using all the time. This guitar for me serves a purpose. Since I teach lessons, I keep this one in standard. But for a budget AZ model, this thing is awesome. The pickups are pretty decent in it, and roasted maple neck, locking tuners. I don't really care too much about the trem system because I don't really mess around with trems much, but I've been very, very pleased with how that guitar both plays and sounds. So yeah, no regrets there. That's going to be my new lessons guitar, or just kind of gigging guitar if I get asked to play a gig, which happens decently often. And then the last guitar is the acoustic. I have an Alvarez Grand Auditorium. I threw a DiMarzio Black Angel pickup in it, single coil in the sound hole. So when I play that guitar and record with it, I'm running both the single coil and the piezo that came with the guitar inside of it, and I get this really nice wide stereo acoustic sound. I pan the piezo left and right, and the piezo is responsible for the bass and also the treble, and then the single coil is picking up most of the mid, so I get a really nice full round, extremely deep but also bright sounding acoustic tone, and it's just an awesome thing to listen to, and kind of one of my favorite things that I've done with a guitar actually, is throwing in that pickup into that Alvarez. So yeah, that's my gear as far as instruments and music gear goes. A question that I also get a lot is, what DAW are you using, or like how do you record your music? And so for me, I'm actually using Cakewalk by BandLab, and I know that's kind of a crazy pick, but I'm a broke college student and a musician, and I'm living off of playing guitar right now, so I don't have any other job other than teaching lessons and playing. So I don't know, I don't really want to spend too much money on like FL Studios, or like, I don't know. I saw that Cakewalk was free, I downloaded it, and that's what I've been using to write, record, mix my songs with. So while it might not be the best, most like modern and user-friendly option, I know it like the back of my hand, so that's just what I've been using. At some point I do want to branch out and learn a different DAW, but for right now this works, and I also don't have to spend money. So to wrap things up, really, I don't have too much to my name when it comes to gear and recording stuff. I just wanted to kind of show you guys how a college student is getting it done right now, you know, in terms of being creative and recording music and learning and stuff like that. In the future, I would love to be able to afford a quad Cortex, because I feel like that would allow me to kind of take my rig wherever, because when I play live, since I don't own any amps or pedals, I'm taking my audio interface with me, USB-C cable, and then I have to plug into like a PA system. So like, in terms of flexibility, I have to bring a laptop everywhere with all the plugins loaded on them and all my presets and stuff. So sometimes that can get a little annoying, just due to the fact that instead of just plugging into one thing, I have to plug my laptop in, I have to plug the audio interface in, and then when I have to switch tones, I have to go to my laptop and, you know, click stuff instead of just stomping on the ground on a pedal board. So live, it's not the most ideal situation. I know that there are like MIDI controllers that I could get to like map certain tones to, so that I could have like a little stomp area where I could just change tones on the fly. But again, that's just another thing for me to carry when I'm, you know, out gigging, and like that's just another thing to plug in, another thing that might get broken, more money to spend. So until I can afford a quad Cortex, I think I'm gonna be sticking with the exact setup that I have now, because it works for me. And you know, it might not work for everybody, but I found that this setup and the process that I go through to play and just get my ideas onto a DAW, you know, it works just fine for me, and I'm very happy with what I've created so far. You know, I've only been playing guitar for 3 years now. At the beginning of March was the mark of 3 years, so, you know, I'm still new to all of this stuff, researching gear, researching techniques, and figuring out stuff. And I took lessons with Kian Hushman for a little bit to kind of up my production game a little bit, as well as like just kind of find new ideas on the fretboard and think like a modern musician does. So big shout outs to Kian. He was an awesome teacher, and you know, I look forward to whenever I happen to chat with him again. Since this is my dorm and like my living space, it makes it really kind of cool. I feel like I'm almost like at a retreat every day. Like watching the Periphery documentaries about how they've made their albums. There was a conversation that Mark Holcomb had in the stairwell where he was like, I really do love their retreat style, because you're living it and you're breathing it. You wake up, it's right next to you, and it's kind of one of those things where you can just forget about everything else, lock in on the music, eating, and sleeping. So for me, like, my bed is right there, like right out of frame. and I get up in the morning. The first thing I see when I get up is my computer, my guitars all sitting here, cables, wires, and just kind of like a workspace ready to go whenever I need to. There have been times I've been up until like 2 a.m. recording, and that's not something I could do, you know, if I didn't have a space like this. So while it is such a minimal and small space, I'm very thankful to be able to have access to everything that I need. Obviously, I don't have everything that I want, but, you know, needs trump wants in, you know, a situation like this. I also have a bunch of cases over there and a ukulele because I'm a music education major, so that means that I'm going to be teaching in a classroom sometime in the near future when I graduate. And, yeah, I need to know ukulele. I need to know recorder, so I have a recorder in my backpack. Sometimes when I'm playing gigs, I'll just bust out the recorder and start playing like Hot Cross Buns or something, and all of my bandmates just like laugh at me or tell me to shut up. It's kind of funny. In terms of just being a music lover and also a student and also a lessons teacher, this is my setup. This is my home. This is what I call home. I mean, I might change a few things about it in the future, but as of right now, like, I have all I really need to be successful as a musician. So I just wanted to make this video just kind of as a, I don't know, filler for whenever I post something cool again. But, you know, that's what I'm working with. So thanks for watching. If you watch the whole thing, I really appreciate you, just because I'm just a little guy in his dorm making some stupid little YouTube videos and occasionally playing guitar. Actually, it's the other way around. It's playing guitar and occasionally making some stupid little YouTube videos. So, alright. Thanks for watching. Peace.